Hello everyone, Social Coach Michael Knight here, and sorry for such a delay between videos. This summer I've been out coaching live in Europe, traveling with different clients through a bunch of different countries, and working with them in the field, in person, in social events, giving them feedback and getting them results. And I'm soon going to be heading to New York, so if you're interested in getting some live coaching in New York City, there's a link in the description below. Follow that and you can get more information and apply if you want. One of the big things I learned with one of my clients in this last trip while we were in Riga, Latvia was you have to go 100% into an interaction if you want any chance of it to go really well. What I mean is, like, you can't do a half-ass attempt at something and then expect full results. So when it's initiating an interaction and getting it to the point where we used to call it hooking, or where it locks in, where the person's really engaged with you, and then from there you can actually build some type of relationship or conversation, a lot of the clients are going in and it's a little bit shaky. They go, oh, okay, hello, and then the person's like, oh, nice to meet you, okay, hi, bye, thank you, and walks off. Imagine you're playing basketball and you want to shoot three-pointers from the three-pointer line. Well, if you only use like 10% of your strength and throw the ball, and doesn't even make it halfway to the basket, there's zero chance of it ever going in. Zero. But if you use your full strength, or a majority of it, and shoot the ball, okay, it might bounce off the backboard, it might go off the rim, it might not go in, but there's actually a chance of it going in. And that's the same when you're initiating new interaction with a person. When you're going to meet a person and talk to them, the energy you put into it and how much you're actually trying to engage them is going to make a big difference whether, as we say, the interaction hooks or it locks into a conversation. And the problem with a lot of my clients was having on this trip was they weren't really trying. And why doesn't a person really try? Well, they're a little nervous, they're scared, they're embarrassed, they don't want to, like, you know, okay, I have to do it, but I'm gonna look to see if they give me a positive reaction first, just like, is it okay if I talk to you? And they're so unconfident that the person's like, okay, what does this guy want? I can't really hear him, I'm not really sure, okay, thank you, nice to meet you, bye-bye. As always, what you have to say has a lot less importance to how you say it. So when you go into an interaction, what you're communicating through your body language, your tone of voice, your posture, this is going to have a lot more to affect what the person initially thinks of you, because they're getting a lot more feedback from their eyes looking at you than they are from your first few words out of your mouth. And this is going to really set the pace for how the conversation goes. You can literally go from a 5% chance to a 95% chance of it going well just by how you initially interact with the person. Now, if you're not confident, you're nervous, you're worried what the other person's going to think, you're kind of looking for permission from that person, like, oh, is it okay that I can talk to you? Hello, hi, can I stop you for a second to say something? It's not going to work, right? They don't know what's going on. They're like, okay, yeah, nice to meet you, that's it. It's not really engaging. But in the other side, if you're like, hey, hello, nice to meet you, my name's Michael. Anyway, I thought, blah, 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 and you're engaging with the person, much more likely that they're going to engage you back. When you're relaxed, you're not anxious, you're speaking maybe not slowly, but, you know, in a relaxed tone where you're not looking for something back from the person, you're taking your time with your words. You're not like trying, a lot of clients, they want to say something as quick as possible to try to say something, oh, I like this, give a compliment or something, and then hoping the person will then acknowledge that, give some positive sign back, and then that positive sign makes them feel like it's okay for them to talk to them. They're like chasing the person's approval right off the bat, which is not a very attractive thing to do at all. But if you're a person who's not worried about the other person's approval, and you go into an interaction and you start talking to them like, hi, nice to meet you, you take it slow. You're not like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Is it? I think you're really good looking. Is it okay? Like you're nervous and you're looking for something positive back before you feel good enough to talk to them. Not going to work. But when you're like, hi, I'm Michael. I just noticed over there, like you were you know, very slow, calm, casual. That's what works. And it draws the person in. It's like a gravitational field. You want to have like a gravitational energy that pulls other people into you. They want to engage you. It's not so much you're chasing after them, trying to get them to engage with you. Don't convey or communicate that you're actively looking for approval, that it's okay to talk to the other person. Just assume your value, assume you're good enough as you are, and of course be respectful of the person, be respectful of their personal space, but at the same time, don't worry that you're not good enough. Go into the interaction as, I am offering you the opportunity to get to know me, but not seeking to get something back from them like their attention, affection, love, or approval. Try to have no reaction to any of their reactions. For example, if you're complete strangers and you're engaging this person, it's completely natural that with no context or no social proof, that the person may be a little skeptical when you engage with them. That's completely normal and to be assumed actually from the start. So when they react a little surprised and nervous, if you mirror that and you're a little get nervous because of that, well, now you're in a vicious downward cycle where the conversation is not going to go well. One of the biggest lessons that I ever learned was that you could actually turn around an interaction that started negatively. Like once, I remember it probably felt like 5 years, but it was only probably 5 seconds. The girls I was talking to were really not engaging with me well, but I really just kept talking to them slowly, not showing that I was like needed anything back from them. I didn't need their approval. I finally cracked some joke and they invited me to sit with them. And I was actually amazed at the time because I was like, wow, that felt so negative in the beginning, but it ended so positively. How many other opportunities in my life am I simply missing because at the first sign of non-acceptance, I run away rather than sticking in it for a little longer and seeing if I can turn it around. And in doing so, actually showing confidence, and that confidence then creating attraction. People who are displaying confidence aren't really showing doubts that they are worried that they're not good enough. And a lot of these people are in such abundance that when they go into an interaction, they're only there to provide value. They're only there to provide fun. I always say the currency of the night is fun. That's the thing that people want. And if you're coming in, you're trying to weasel your way into their interaction and take away the energy and fun and bring negativity or nervousness, yeah, of course they don't want you in the interaction. But if you're self-amused, self-fulfilled, you're going to have a good time with or without them, and you're giving them more like the opportunity to join the fun that you're already bringing, you're already having. That's what's going to make you more engaging. So what does confidence look like, and what are some more like practical tips that you can use? Well, the first is eye contact. Confidence looks like you're comfortable looking the person in the eye while you're speaking to them or they're speaking to you. If you're in a group, look at the person who's talking. When you're talking, look at the person you're talking to. Most likely, you're not doing enough. Most likely, you think you have eye contact, but you're more like this. So yeah, and I did this, and I just wanted to come talk to you, and you know, you're not actually engaging. You're just kind of looking off, you're darting. You're not keeping the eye contact the whole time. Eye contact's huge. Number 2, vocal tonality, pacing, like we talked to before, and most important, projection. A lot of the guys, especially if you're in a loud environment, they're not speaking loud enough. You need to talk to like the person's actually like a foot behind where they actually are. Like you're talking to another person standing right behind that person, and you need to project. Use your diaphragm, not your middle of your chest. Because a lot of people, they get nervous and it closes off and they're speaking, but they're not really projecting. They're nervous, so they're not feeling comfortable and they're not projecting their voice. Well, when I was coaching in Riga these past months, well, a lot of those people's first language living there, they're speaking Latvian or Russian. English isn't their first language. Some of my clients, English isn't their first language either. So a guy who maybe speaks Spanish is speaking English to someone who's a native Latvian or Russian speaker. Well, of course, this gives a lot of place for lost in translation. And your job as a man is to make things as easy as possible for the other person. And you do that by speaking slowly, clearly, and projecting, making it easy for them to understand you. Because maybe they're shy, too. Maybe they're a little embarrassed that their English isn't up to snuff. And they don't want to engage with you simply because of those reasons. So you want to make it as easy as possible for them. And another thing is, as a man, is you're there to solve issues and make things work. That's your job as a guy. There's never an ideal situation. Yes, maybe the music's a little too loud. Oh well, that's not an excuse. Maybe the person was walking by and not standing still. Maybe the person's talking with some friends. Like if you're looking for an excuse, you can always find one for why not to engage a new person. So you need to cut the bullshit and stop making excuses for yourself. And the final tip I have for you is posture, body posture. The best place to be is locked in front of the person, speaking directly in front of them. You don't have to be on top of them, you know, give them their personal space, which is a lot easier to do when you're also projecting your voice. You don't have to be leaning in and doing some awkward neck cringe where you're trying to get into the interaction or have them hear you or you hear them. And if you can't hear them, again, going back to the vocal thing, it's okay to go, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up. So eye contact, vocal projection, squaring up the body posture. In addition to this, going 100% into it, where like, hello, excuse me, right? With that energy, they'll actually engage you. Without that energy, they'll probably just like, what was that? I don't even know, and walk away. So that's everything for today. I hope you got some value out of it. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you want some live coaching, there's links to that in the description below. Feel free to check out my book. It goes through all the behaviors that if you simply quit doing them, people would automatically find you way more attractive. And that's also linked to in the description below. That's all for today. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, ciao.